Hey friends, a little too early, so close. My name's Aaron Ciotti, and of course I forgot to do something. Hold on. There we go. Everybody calls me Ciotti, there's the end of it. Welcome. Well, I forgot to do the other thing too. Welcome to Monday Bench Clearing Brawl. I have all kinds of stuff that's like almost done, but not quite done. And it needs to get off the bench because 2.5 weeks from now, I guess it is Rotor Riot Rampage. And yeah, I'd like to bring lots and lots and lots of stuff with me for anybody that's going to kind of check out and screw around with and whatever. And so, yeah, I got to get ready for that. What do you think of that? This is a Q&A live stream, as they all are. And we're also going to do 6 batteries and mailbag. So we got lots to do. If you got any questions, drop them in chat. Otherwise, prepare for madness. Yeah, we're going to fix the Mobula 6 2024. We're going to test motors on the 36,000 kV rig here. We are going to get the for sale rig set up so that it's ready for sale. Hey, what you were watching in the intro... Oh, hell's breaking loose over there. Good lord, that thing moves good. What you're... well, hold on. Wait. It switched to the next battery. Here, check it out. This is the analog Cinesplore. And good lord, it is amazing. I haven't flown it in forever. It flies so good. Look at this thing, man. This is with a Hero 8 on board. This is me checking the analog range around the building. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible either, though. I could fly over there. It's got a Pro 32 on it. See that? It's freezing there. That's weird. It's playing off of the micro SD card, which should be like infinitely fast. I don't understand why we're still getting these video freezes, but I guess it's just the way it's gonna be. Yeah, man, look at this thing. I mean, I was like really pushing it around, but like This is no stabilization, no nothing. This is just an FPVCycle Cinesplore, the old school one, not even the new one. Speaking of the new one, I actually just 5 minutes ago put an order in on FPVCycle for 2 of the new Cinesplores, so that I can get these guys transferred over, because I did notice that. So yeah, this is what I was just flying around. This is on the Axis power. I changed the motors, and then I forget what I changed them to. They're the Axis 2004. Where's the KV? 3500 KV. That's what you were just watching. 2004 3500 KV on the Gemfan D76's Hero 8. And that was a big-ass battery. That was a 4S 1300. Big, fat battery. Usually I run this on 4S 850s. And the tune is just about right on those. I can't really push the tune any farther on this. I'm hoping that on the new Cinesplore frame I will be able to, but we'll see. I don't even know. I don't know if these motors are going to have enough jam for the new frame is much stronger, but it's also considerably heavier. So we'll see. Hopefully these motors have enough power for that new, for the new heavier frame. The new frame will allow me to push the PID tune a lot further, in theory, though. The only thing about the Cinesplore that's not brilliant, and this was done to keep the weight down, is that the arms are only 3 millimeters thick. And so you get some vibrations for sure with the arms that kind of limit how far you can go with the PID tune. What's cool is you can go far enough with the PID tune until you put a giant fat-ass battery on it. And then it, yeah. I mean, you can't really tell when you're flying it like a Cinewhoop. You can't really tell. It's not until like you start doing flips and rolls and stupid stuff they don't normally do with Cinewhoops that you can actually notice it. But yeah, that's what you were just watching. This fella. I don't think I need to change anything on it. After that little crash there, I think it broke the. I was using a XT30 to XT60 adapter, and I think that adapter broke. I told myself to leave it out so that I could take a look at it and maybe fix it. And I didn't. I don't know where it is. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so that was this guy. I don't really need to save that flight footage. It's there's no jello, there's no weirdness. Everything looks clean. Yeah. This is fine. This is my like across the street testing spot. Look at this thing move around though, man. Full ducts, totally safe. God, the video looks great. You can just, let me see if I can show you. Ooh, 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 ooh. One of my online names used to be CiottiMonkey. I figured out a really cool way that you can tell if your center of gravity is not balanced. Ready? Ready, 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 ready? That's a backflip. Little bit of bobble at the end of it, right? Right. Another backflip, little bit of bobble. Check out the front flip. Do a front flip me an hour ago. Do a front flip, you idiot. Why didn't I do another? Did I really not do a front flip? What a jackass. Hold on. In this video, maybe I did a... Let's see. Yeah, this is actually really cool. I never really thought through this. This is something that I noticed a long time ago, but I just never kind of realized what was going on with it. So you saw there was a left roll or a right roll there, and at the end of it, there was no bounce back whatsoever. That's because with a Cinewhoop, all the, you know, there's practically no weight on the roll axis. All the weight is on the pitch axis. So help me God. If I did not do a front... Oh my God, really? I did not... How did I... Was it the other Cinesplore? I flew the other Cinesplore as well. Hold on. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Don't let me down past me. All right, so there's a roll. Nice and crisp at the end, no problems, no bounce back, no nothing. Here comes a flip or a front flip. Damn it. Nope, come on. Front flip, you idiot. Come on. Do it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so there's a back flip. There's a front flip. All right, back flip, front flip. Can you see the difference? See the difference? Back flip, not bad. One little bit of bounce back. Front flip, hot mess. Hot mess. Here's what's going on. If your CG is balanced front to rear, when you do a backflip, the front motors are going to fire up really hard to get it started. You're going to come around. The back motors are going to fire up really hard to get it stopped. If the back motors have enough jam, it's just going to stop. If the back motors don't have quite enough jam, it's going to and it's going to have a little bounce back. If the back motors are totally overloaded, it's going to wobble all over the damn place. When you front flip, so that's a back flip. The front motors start the move. You don't get to see bounce back at the front of these moves usually, right? So that's a back flip. So the back flip is kind of testing how ass heavy it is, because when it comes around, the back motors need to spin up to slow it down. So if it's ass heavy on the end of the back flip, you're gonna get a bunch of shit. That's not what we got. We got the opposite, and this is usually what happens on Cinewhoops. Since the GoPro is so heavy and it's all the way up front, you can typically not push your battery back far enough to offset it. So what we just saw is on the front flip, the back motor's cranked up, no problem. But then at the end of the front flip, the front end is all heavy. All this weight comes up, the front motors turn on. They don't have enough. And then it bounces back, wobble, 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 wobble. Apparently this thing is very dirty, because now my desk is filthy. So, yeah, you can actually, you don't even have to do this, you know, this little trick where you try to find the exact balance point and balance it in your fingers and whatnot. You can just put it up in the air and do a front and a back flip. That only works, though, if your PID tune is not completely locked down. If in theory, when I get the new frame, I'll be able to push the PID tune farther, and I'll be able to get this locked in on the pitch axis, not just the roll axis. But we'll see, man. I mean, Cinewhoops are, you know, they're squished X, which doesn't help. And you push the GoPro really far forward to try to get the ducts out of view at really low camera angle. So, you know, Cinewhoops are in a scenario where you might never be able to get all of the bounce back out on the pitch axis. We'll see. I'll be super interested if in the new frame I can get either one of these rigs perfectly tuned. It's pretty difficult. Like, in order to get all of the bounce back out of these two rigs as they are right now in the current old school Cinesplore frames, basically what I would need to do is to continue to go up in motor size. And then you're adding a bunch more weight, which makes it less maneuverable and brings the runtime down. These two have been built to be absolutely as light as possible for max runtime and max accuracy. And these are much, much, much lighter than pretty much any other Cinesplore. Any other Cinewhoop I've ever seen out there. I'm gonna delete that flight footage. There's nothing bad in there that I need to like troubleshoot. So let's empty this card out, and yeah, there we go. In the chat, Kevin Sumner was first. Hockey Rounds was next. Douglas Otwell. Slow Cal, Raging Leet, Scotty Scott, Stavel, BeefFPV, Walter, BLDO550, Smoking Dog Cujo, Freelojo, Walter, Timmons, Curtis Hayes, Sleepy CBR, thank you for the super chat, my friends. I will read it in 1 second. I'm doing like 18 things at once right now. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There we go. Hero 8, charging. We're going to look at this next. Curtis Hayes, Hockey Rounds, County FPV, Can I Get a Channel, Brandon's Baked Beans, Captain Calgary, Four Little Pigs. Speaking of Brandon's Baked Beans, he's helped me to tune both of these Cinesplores. Massive shout out to him. He charges $1 a minute for black box tuning, which is an incredibly good deal. So hit him up if you want to get your rigs tuned to that last... that last 10% that you can't get with your eyes and your ears. Or if you've got unruly rigs, that's where you're really going to get your money's worth. These two Cinesplores were relatively unruly rigs. The 3mm thick arms, there's just a bunch of vibrations in there, and when that's happening, and you just... So, like, the tuning that I show you guys is like a super general purpose tune. If you've got a clean frame, clean motors, clean props, half-decent build, that tuning method is going to work. And that's your best case scenario, is to spend some time mechanically tuning the rig. Get a good frame, get good motors, get good propellers. In certain cases, like this one, where the frame is a little bit vibratey, that general tuning method will not work. It will not get your tune quite far enough. Like, it worked on this, and this flew, but it didn't fly quite as good. So I bugged the shit out of Brandon, sent him a bunch of logs, and he helped get the filtering absolutely dialed in perfectly for this frame. If your frame is not super strong, or if the frame is the problem, black box tuning is a miracle, because you can really specifically set the filters to as a band-aid for the frame itself. And that's basically what we had to do. Brandon got the filters absolutely dialed in perfectly, and then that let me push the PID tune a little bit further, which was able to get most, if not all, of the bounce back out when I'm running the small batteries on these guys. As soon as I run the big batteries, it comes back. But yeah, hook the man up if you want a proper tune. Tuning by ear, tuning by just what you see in the goggles is staggeringly good, but there are limitations to it. And yeah, if you've got a rig that's like outside of the ordinary, or you're using some cheaper stuff, like cheaper motors will be a little bit more noisy, cheaper ESC is a little bit more noisy. Yeah, you can really help things out with a legitimate tune. Why did it break this file up? All right, so here's the digital Cinewoop, which is basically the exact same build, but a Vista on board, which makes it heavier, and so I went up to a bigger motor. This is a FPVCycle 2104 instead of a 2004, and this is the 3500 kV version that Bob was cool enough to make sort of for us. So 1 extra millimeter of stator width, same exact kV, and then slightly heavier because of the Vista rather than an analog VTX. Still flies fantastic. This is the rig that gets most of the attention and love and flight time and blah 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 blah. This is the one that I use on gigs more often than not. What is that? Oh, so this, yeah. I also okay, hold on. So let's go to the last file, 620, that's not the one, 622, this is the one. Yeah, here we go, digital Cinesplore. Did I really have the camera running the entire time I was changing the battery? What's happening here? And now it stops recording? Why is it, what? Why did you stop recording, GoPro? Why you do that? That's extremely annoying. Is this the Cinesplore or what? Yeah, it is. Okay, so here we go. Here's the digital one, in case you were curious. Nice soft ends on the little bit of jib jab there. You can see that was a back flip, so that's the easier one. I bet you I don't do a front flip. Nope, didn't do a front flip. I flew this one first, and I kind of realized the center of gravity thing later. Look how much it's heavier, man. I think I was also running a heavier battery on this. This is a big old 4S 1300. I think this also has less. Yeah, this has less camera up tilt. And this is a 10-degree GoPro mount that you're watching now. On the previous one, that was a 30-degree GoPro mount. And I have the FPV cameras pretty well matched up. This FPV camera is probably at about 15 degrees. The other one is definitely at about 30. So that's why there's a pretty drastic difference in speed between these two. They'll both carry the same amount of speed as one another, because why wouldn't they? They're the exact same build. So yeah, there you go. I flew outside for the first time in a while today. That's not true. Gigs I'd fly outside, but I flew like for fun outside for the first time in a long time. And I gotta tell you, it sucks balls. I had a massive allergy attack. My nose was actually dripping, like what was I even gonna say? Literally dripping. Absolute disaster. I'm never going outside again, unless I have to. But yeah, man, look at these Cinesplores just whopping around. Like they fly so good. I'm really interested to see what they'll be like on the new frame. If I can push the tune a little bit farther, that'll be great. I don't love the fact that they're gonna get heavier. We'll see how much heavier they get. Maybe it won't be too bad. I think I looked it up on Bob's website. I think it's maybe like an extra 15 grams. But yeah, I had a couple batteries that needed to be discharged, and so I figured, hey, I'd go out and like really push these things around. When I fly them on set, I don't push them hard like this. Like I really limp them around because, you know, I'm doing like cinematic flying, but also like I don't want to stretch, like I don't want them to fall out of the sky, right? So when I come out here and screw around with them, I can really push super hard on them which is a good like kind of maintenance thing to do. You know, if you build your rigs in a way that when you fly on set, you only have to use like 50% of their performance, and then you come out here every once in a while and push them to 100%, they're going to be really, really like they're just not going to fall out of the sky, right? Like, and that's one of the reasons that pretty much every time, like every single time I fly a battery, one of the first things I do is just hammer the throttle a couple times. If there's something that's about to let go and you hammer the throttle, it's going to let go in that spot that's safe, right? Like as soon as you take off, and then you can fly sort of normally. So that's another sort of just little safety tip, I guess. Did I fly this a little bit more? No, didn't fly this a little bit more. The other thing that I flew today is this ugly bastard. This is the FPVCycle dick nose. No, this is the FPVCycle something or other. Cineglide. This is the Cineglide. Dead Cat. This is the 5.5 inch version, although when you put this when you put a Hero camera mount on it, you can only run 5-inch props. If you put a Session camera mount on here, you can run 5.5-inch props. I have this on Brother Hobby 2507 1850 kV motors. Big, powerful motors. This is a rig that I built to chase a dirt track oval car at like 100 miles an hour. And then the gig got rained out and it didn't get rescheduled for some documentary that they were filming. And then I just kept it together because this is an excellent live flying gig. If I ever get to live fly and chase like not people, This will be the perfect rig for that, like chasing cars live flying, like what Justin Skinner's doing, right? This would be really great for that. The FPV camera is all the way up front, no props in view whatsoever. Put the session mount on here, run 5.5-inch props for a little bit of extra power and runtime, and yeah, all is right with the world. I haven't flown it in a while. I'll tell you why I flew it today in a minute, but I'm gonna throw the flight footage up from this. There's something seriously wrong either with my transmitter or with Crossfire, or I think it's my transmitter because I believe it does this on ELRS. I really need to switch over to one of the other transmitters. For the first, like, it's weird, like it literally has to warm up. There's just a whole bunch of these little micro failsafes. You'll see it in a second here. This must be the file that I actually flew the damn thing on. I hadn't flown this thing in so long that I had to update Crossfire. And I did that a long time ago. So yeah, it's doing this really weird shit where it's the super weird thing is it's mainly doing it on yaw. Like it'll just I'll push over into yaw and nothing will happen for like a half a second and then it'll catch up. But then after like 3 or 4 minutes of flying, it's fine. It goes away. That's why I keep wiggling back and forth on yaw. And what's really the super weird thing is it's doing it more on left yaw than right yaw. It's so weird. Like look, all this is normal. Flips and rolls are normal. But then watch this weird yaw. I mean, you can't really tell because you're not on the transmitter, but like, I'll tell you when it does it. Hold on. You might be able to see it because like it doesn't do anything and then it's just like snap. There it is. There it just did it. See how it's like snapping to the left? It's like catching up. This is me landing it to like look at it and be like, what the hell's going on here? And now it should be doing it again here. So I'm probably going to yaw left and it won't do much of anything. Or no, this is when I finally got frustrated and just started flying the damn thing. Tune is not perfect. I do have very heavy props on it at the moment. These are Gemfan 5149 9s. These are big, paddly bastard props. I'm going to take these off and put on 5147 racing props. They'll be way, way, way lighter, and that'll probably clean it up. Here's me trying to figure it out again. Left, left, left. See, now it's fine. Now I've been flying it for a little bit, and all of a sudden it's fine. Very weird. So, yeah. I have another QX7. I just need to sit down with the two of them in the menus and set up all the mixes the same and whatnot. The other QX7 is actually on Edge TX, which is really cool. But yeah, that's this thing. That's this Cine something or other. Cineglide. Is that what it's called? Cineglide. Yeah, that's what it's called. I should have brought this with me this weekend to Brasstown Bald, but I did not. That is a very strange name for the highest elevation point in Georgia. It's at like 4,800 feet. And my last birthday present from Maggie was for us to go up there and spend the night, Saturday night, and then go up there on Sunday. She was thinking that, so she like looked on their website, and it doesn't say, which is kind of weird. It doesn't say no drones anywhere. And then when we got there, there were no drone signs, which was very confusing to me because but I asked them and they said it's not a national park, but it's something else, and like they follow all the national park rules. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'm not going to risk it flying big stuff. The other thing was that it's so high in elevation that it's colder up there. And the trees are all still brown. There's no leaves on any of the trees up there. So it's kind of ugly. It's all brown. And there's really nothing to look at. So I just said to hell with it, and I flew a couple of tiny whoop batteries on the trail, but that was it really. I didn't fly anything big. And then when we left, I found a couple little scenic pullover spots, and I did fly a couple of 5-inch batteries with the what are we calling it? The RazorBack, with the RazorBack. This is the big fast 40-degree up tilt glide with the big old FPVCycle 2506 motors. And this thing flew like ass. There is something going on with this. I recently changed the Vista antenna, and I don't think this antenna works at all. I was starting to get like ultra blockiness about 100 feet away. So I can see that it's plugged in, like the UFL is definitely plugged in, but yeah, it's acting like there's no antenna whatsoever on it. And then it's like humming and oscillating and doing all kinds of weird stuff. This rig has had this Acon 55 amp ESC for a while, and it's always given me issues. I remember at some point I looked up this ESC, and somebody did a review of it here on YouTube, and they dove into like the noise performance, and they were not impressed. They were like, "This is a very noisy ESC for some reason." And I've always had really weird issues with this particular. It's an Acon 55 amp. It's an old Acon 55 amp with a heat shield on it. And so I'm going to pull it out of here. And luckily, at Rampage last year, actually, Joshua grenaded the MT30s, whatever the hell they are, those wacky motor plugs, on a T-Motor 55 amp ESC, and gave me the ESC. And I put it into the test bed rig and flew that a bunch after Rampage last year. But then more recently, oh yeah, so that's been in there. And then recently, man, I forgot to turn all the lights on. Very recently, actually, T-Motor very kindly sent me a bunch of Velox stuff. The new Velox ESC and the new Velox flight controller. So, and that rig has the Velox 2306s on it. So this will be perfect. That'll become an all Velox rig. And then I can rob the T-Motor 55 amp ESC out of it, put it into the RazorBack, and hopefully the weird performance issues go away, and then I'll be happy. So yeah, I've got so much bench work to do over the next couple of weeks that I just want to cry and pee my pants, but it'll be fine. I'll get through it. It'll be okay. Bench work is not the end of the world, but it's close. It is close, man. It is not good. Ah, there it is. There's the little, yeah, I think this thing shit the bed. I think this thing lost, ouch, the connection between the XT30 and the XT60. Because I had a little crash with the analog Cinesplore, and I was having to use this. The analog Cinesplore is still on XT30 to try. I did that to just keep the weight as low as absolutely possible. And the batteries that I had charged were XT60. So I was using this little adapter that I made. And yeah, after the crash, it just had no power whatsoever. And there's really no other reason. I mean, I guess the ESC could have exploded, but I'm pretty sure that this thing was the failure point. I'll let you know in 20 minutes when I can get this effing shrimp wrap off of here. Come on now. Get off of there. Ah, come on. Jesus. Man, I made this thing so long ago. I don't remember what I did. Did I use wire in between the two connectors or what? What did I do here? I hope this thing is blown up, because otherwise that ESC went, and that's I don't know. I don't remember what ESC that is in there. So let's take a quick look. Doing these XT60 to XT30 adapters is weird, man, because you got to use small gauge wires for the XT30, and then you got to run those small gauge wires into the big ass cups of the XT60. It just feels wrong. All right, so let's see. Did this connector or did this adapter shit the bed? This is brutal. I can't cut through this shrimp wrap that I put on here. There we go. Jesus. All right, let's see. I mean, I could have just continuity tested it. No, this seems to be fine. That's not great. I wish I'd tested it before just hacking it all to hell. That wasn't the best. I was pretty sure that this was broken, though. Okay, hold on. Well, in that case, I guess the ESC blew up on this. Let's hook up an XT30 battery real quick and see if we get any beeps. I bet you I'll get beeps. Ready? Yep. So this connector did die. It's just, I just can't see where it has died. It must have died up on the XT30 side, because this looks fine over here. Yeah, these solder joints are solid. Strange. Oh well, I'll make another one of these. Yeah, it didn't do it. It was a weird crash, and I had that adapter like all jammed in the side, all weird like. So as soon as it crashed and I lost video, I was like, yeah, I just broke the adapter, didn't I? Which is the main reason that I started just chomping into that adapter rather than doing the intelligent thing and actually testing it. But yeah, these two Cinesplores will look very, I mean, not that different. They'll have the same ducts. They'll have the same mounts. I hope they use the same mounts. Does it use the same mounts? Oh, farts. It doesn't. But I think that's the Tooth Fairy mount, and I have a bunch of those. Balls. I gotta message Bob and say, yo, I ordered more of these mounts. Now I don't need them. Fart. 20542. Damn it. 20542. All right, hold on. What mounts do the new Cinesplores use? Number, what did I say? 20542. OG. All right, cool. Thank you, friends, for bearing with me. All right, so that's what I got going on. What is this? What is this pin shit? I don't know what the pin is. Is that it? What is this? Great. I did a thing with Facebook. It was wonderful. So yeah, that's what's happening. This thing is good to go. I just want to change it over to different propellers. These are the Gemfan 5147s. And so tiny little bit less pitch, but much, much, much lighter. And so, yeah, this will be cool. These might be, I hope these aren't too light. There's no such thing as too light. I might also change this to props in. Because reasons. But I want to test it. I want to test it props out. And then I'll test it props in. And maybe we can see a difference. The whole props out, props in thing on Cinesplores and just Cinewhoops in general, it definitely makes a difference. Those are low authority rigs that also have the weird aerodynamic situation of the ducts. If it also makes a difference on this, which is a big, heavy, it's not a low authority rig, but it's very heavy, then we'll have sort of pinpointed that it's not necessarily a thing with ducts. It helps low authority rigs. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. Again, this is with the propellers that I just had on this. It was sort of a low authority rig. On these propellers, it should not be because these are so lightweight. So we'll see. I'm doing this up here so that it doesn't look like I'm whacking off, for the record. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna fly this again tomorrow, hopefully. The other interesting thing that happened is for maybe the first or second time, I have this big old 6S 2500 mAh lithium ion battery, an 18650 battery. And I've always just used it to charge other batteries. I've never actually flown the damn thing. And I flew it on this for the first time today, and it was just a nightmare. Like, you can't hammer it at all. I mean, I kind of knew that. But then it came down to like 3.5 volts within like a minute and a half. But then apparently you can run them down to like 3.2. Which feels ultra weird, and like your OSD is screaming at you the whole time. So yeah, that was super awkward. But yeah, it's this GNB guy, 2500 lithium ion. I don't think I'm ever gonna fly it again, because it's only 2500 mAh. I mean, I guess that's a good amount especially for a 6S, but. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to fly this again. I think this is just going to be the battery that I use to charge other batteries. I just hooked this up to a, ISDT charger, and I can charge a whole bunch of 4S 850s with it. So yeah, that was, I don't know if it was disappointing, but long range guys, you've lost your damn minds. Flying these batteries around is incredibly brave. I'm even more impressed now, and I was pretty impressed before by what you long-range hooligans do. So what the hell? I mean, like, this thing is now... Oh, it bounced back quite a bit. 3.6. I mean, you store these at 3.8, I'm assuming, right? It's just weird, man. It's just the weirdest thing ever. Everything is weird about that battery. I don't like it. I don't like it. But for charging other batteries, it's great. I also feel like the lithium ion batteries are less sketchy. Like they don't. I'm assuming, but I'm pretty sure this is a correct assumption. I'm assuming that they're way safer, right? Like when they're charged, because like if you think about it, right, they're not just like this powder keg ready to explode. When you fly these batteries, you can like kind of tell, right? Like a regular LiPo, they hammer. So like if they're gonna explode, they're gonna explode like a nuclear bomb, same way that they fly. These lithium ions, they fly like ass. So in theory, if they were to explode, I feel like they wouldn't explode as often. And if they do, they shouldn't be as violent. You know, that makes sense, doesn't it? Everything that just makes sense is true, I heard. Isn't that how it works? No? It's not? Why not? If it seems like it should be true, it's true, isn't it? No? Oh, well. If you want to talk to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. It'll light up an orange for me. Kevin Sumner says, is that a hockey fight reference in the title? It is indeed. I grew up loving hockey, watching hockey with my dad. I was actually born while the Flyers were in the playoffs. That might have been the last time they've been in the playoffs. Kevin, my dad was watching the Flyers in the playoffs on the TV in the birthing room. I don't know, hospital room, whatever. Kevin Sumner says, mind taking a minute to look at the video of my Cinesplore in troubleshooting corner. Let's take a look. Where the hell is Discord? Where are you, Discord? There you are. Troubleshooting corner. Wobble.move. Look at this scene. Whoa! Look at that boy wobbling around. Is that an old school Cinesplore or one of the new ones? If it's an old school Cinesplore, I'm gonna blame the thin ass arms. Because I had a hell of a time with mine. But yeah. I'm going to blame the skinny arms. Join me on the Cinesplore 2 adventure, dude. Oh, that's angle mode, but it happens in acro too. Yeah. The fact that it happens at just that one throttle amount, I'm pretty sure are the arms getting into their oscillation area. Their resonant frequency. There we go. So yeah, that's going to be my guess. What motors are on it? If Brandon was able to really get mine under control with some fancy filtering, but you said you don't have black box, so that makes it really difficult. So like, yeah, you could probably put a flight controller in there with black box, and then Brandon can get you fixed up. That'll cost you the same amount of money as switching to the new frame. So switch to the new frame is going to be my recommendation for the thicker arms. When my Cinesplores were even lighter weight, there was absolutely no problem. When they were on the really lightweight Brother Hobby VY 2004 motors, 4S850s, Hero 8, light-ish HD camera, they were totally fine. And that's when the Cinesplore was created, back in the days that everything was a little bit lighter weight. Once they started to gain weight, the situation got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I would let Bob know what was going on like every step of the way, and that's one of the things that spawned him to design the Cinesplore 2. Is that, yeah. Although Bob did send me the STL file for the arms for the Cinesplore 1, because I was going to just have like 4mm and 5mm arms cut for it. But now that the Cinesplore 2 is out, you might as well do that. But if for some reason you're dead set on it, I'll check with him, but he'll probably let me forward you over the file, and then you could have CNC Madness cut some 4mm or 5mm arms for you. At that point, the old school Cinesplore would weigh what the new school Cinesplore does. So I would, again, just go with the new Cinesplore. That's going to be my professional opinion. Freelo Joe putting the Patreon link into the chat. Thank you very much for that. Patreon is the best way that you can support me. They take the least percent, and you get a ton of benefits. You're going to get emails every single time I live stream. You're going to get early emails with edits like the Analog FPV is a time machine edit that went up on Saturday, you would have been able to watch that an entire week early, and you'll get to watch a version of that with Walksnail footage cut in. I did like an alternative version of that edit with HD footage when the music cleans up, just as a little experiment, and patrons got to watch that. It'll cost you $3 whole a month. That's 10 cents a day, or like 7.5 cents per hour of live streaming content that I do, and it helps me a ton. Next Monday is a giveaway live stream, so if you join the $5 a month tier or any of the ones beyond that, you'll be entered into 1 or 3 giveaways, depending on which tier you choose. So yeah, great time to join the Patreon. Do it! And we'll hang out together forever. Patreon is what pays the bills and literally keeps the lights on in this house and food in the kiddos' mouths. So if you have a couple extra bucks, jump on there. You'll get a ton of benefits. The Patreon channel has a ton of like technical articles that I've put up there, a couple of different Facebook groups, full access to the Discord channel, all kinds of good stuff. Way more than what you'll be paying for at $3 or $5 or whatever bucks a month. Parkour guy says, what's up, man? Got 5 drones to fix tonight. Perfect timing. Nice. Stavel says, how was your Sunday birthday surprise? Just talked about it. County FPV says, I did get the rolling screen figured out, changed the goggles to full diversity. Thanks for the info. You're certainly welcome. I knew that's what it was. 661 FPV says, can confirm 1102 14,000 kV BetaFPV motors in the Mobula 7 V3 frame with tiny whoop 300 mAh 2S, BT 3.0, and an X12 analog is a beast, almost too much for small areas. Yeah, it's the weight that's probably killing it in small areas. Let me know how. Do me a huge favor, 661. Spin those motors up in beta flight while you're touching the rig to get an idea of how clean they're spinning now, and then once you've crashed those motors a bunch, do it again. Can you check me on the fact that those motors are weak? I'm having no luck with the durability of those BetaFPV 1102s, and it pisses me off because they're a great motor. Curtis Hayes says, go 6S on the new Cinesplore with one of those new Speedy B stacks. Probably not. I don't have any 6S batteries that would really make sense on the new Cinesplore. And I have loads of 4S batteries, and the performance is plenty. So yeah, that's a good idea, but I've got them. I mean, I could just put, if I had the batteries, I could just put the 6S batteries on them now. The digital Cinesplore is on a like $80 Hobbywing ESC meant for 5-inch rigs. It's just that, yeah, I'm not going to rebuy a bunch of batteries. It's easier just to run 4S. There's a chance that 6S would help with the wobbles and the bounce back, but yeah, we'll see on the new frame. And then I would have to run motor limiting, and it's like, I mean, it's easy to do, but I've got the 4S batteries. 661 says, I'm also flying the new 0702s with 1.5mm shafts right now. Can confirm they're awesome. The props are a bit hard to push on, though. Interesting. Guess maybe those shafts are ever so slightly oversized. I don't know why they would. Well, yeah, I guess it's a new motor. Well, they're probably using the same motor shafts and then just putting different bells on between 802 and 702. That's interesting. Striker says, finals week is officially over as of last week. Very cool. Sage, who's 18, he's finishing up high school this week as well. This is his last week. Metadirtson says, on the forward flip, you're settling into prop wash, which kind of messes up the comparison. Yeah, I did more front and back flips than that, and noticed it on more than just that one occasion. And it makes sense, right? Like, if the front end is too heavy, when it comes around with that momentum, it's going to overload those front motors. So, but yeah, you're right. It was dropping a little bit of elevation there. Sleepy CBR with a $2 super chat. He says, for whatever. Thank you, homie. Striker says, getting to the point where I can tell my quad flies like shit and the tune is ass. How do I go about tuning for the first time? Easiest thing to do, absolute easiest thing to do is just to take the master multiplier and move it from 1.0 to 1.2, fly it, check that the motors aren't getting too hot, move it to 1.4, rinse and repeat, 1.6, 1.8. Eventually the motors will get hot and it'll start to sound bad. At that point, you need to back it off. Paratino Photography says, what's the weight of your Cine rig? I have so many, and they're all different weights. But yeah, if there's a specific one you want me to weigh, I will. But I have loads. I have the 2 Cinesplores. I have a Dead Cat analog Cinesplore glide here for cinematic work. I've got the Cineglide, and then the RazorBack as well. Those are all the cinematic rigs that I don't really crash very much. I'm thinking though that I'm gonna start crashing and just generally beating the shit out of the why can't I remember the name? RazorBack. I need to rewatch The Expanse. I'm starting to forget things. Yeah, I think I'm going to start crashing and pounding on the RazorBack because the Cineglide will do everything that the RazorBack really will do, and I don't need another one of those. So yeah, that rig is probably going to start to get beat up, which will be fun. Striker says, another thing, my quad seems to be sort of floating away in the mid-throttle, and when I drop to 0 throttle, it's still floating away. Do you have any idea what that could be? The only thing that could really be is... so you do not want to push the master multiplier up, because if you have that situation right now, you are already at the limit of the tune. Your motors and or your propellers are probably beat to shit, and they are vibrating really hard, and those vibrations are feeding back into the PID loop, and then it's not letting the motors drop down to idle. So what you need to do is first switch the propellers out. If you've already done that, take the propellers off, go into the motor tab of BetaFlight, and spin the motors up to about 30 to 40% throttle. Just move each bar up and down. And what you're going to notice is you've got 1 or 2, probably maybe 3 motors that are vibrating harder than the others. You need to replace those motors. Or you could have the arms on the frame could be delaminated. You can just grab the frame in the corners like this, put your thumbs in the middle, and bend the arms, and then do the other 2. And you might find 1 or 2 arms that are much more bendy than the others. You need to replace those. Also look for loose screws. That'll do it. If none of that fixes it, then it's an electrical noise issue. Put a capacitor under your ESC if it doesn't already have one. If it does already have one, put a bigger capacitor on there. If that doesn't fix it, change the ESC out to a different brand. That troubleshooting workflow there will fix 99% of problems. Your gyro could also be failed or failing on your flight controller, but that's the least. That little troubleshooting workflow that I just gave you is from most common problems to least common problems. Ninja Monkey FPV with a great YouTube name. He says, what's a good tune for a 65mm 25.9 whoop, such and such motors, crown frame, blah, blah, blah. Ninja Monkey, there aren't just good tunes. There are people that know how to tune, that can custom tune rigs, and those people can make a good tune for their specific rig, and then sometimes they will put it up on the BetaFlight in the presets. And so if you build the exact same rig as them, and you're the exact same person as them, then their tune might be good for you. But if you're a different person than them, then you might not like their tune, because tunes make these rigs fly a certain way, and different people fly differently. And different people want their flight footage to look differently. So yeah, throw out the idea of there existing like a good tune that you can just put on any rig. tuning is a completely custom thing that you do individually for each build that you do. If you're going to spend the time to custom build a rig, if you're not then going to spend the much less amount of time and money that it takes to do a custom tune on that rig, stop building custom rigs. Just buy bind and flies, because they'll come with a tune that was designed for them. And like a bind and fly, which doesn't have as good, nah, that's not true. I was going to say a bind and fly that doesn't have as good components but has a correct tune for it is going to fly better, but that's not really true. But yeah, if you're going to go through the trouble and the hassle of doing a custom build, if you're then not going to custom tune it, you're kind of missing the point. So yeah, tuning is incredibly simple. If your sliders are all stock at 1.0, the absolute easiest possible thing to do is to take the master same exact thing I said a minute ago. Take the master multiplier, move it from 1.0 to 1.2, fly the rig, make sure it's not acting weird, make sure the motors aren't getting too hot. 1.4, fly it, same thing. 1.6, fly it, same thing. 1.8, 2.0. If you can get to 2.0, you'll love the way that it flies. Leave it the hell alone, just fly it. You probably won't be able to get that far. Before you get to that point, it'll start acting weird. It'll fly away on its own. It'll start making weird noises, especially when you quickly lower the throttle. So yeah, custom tune. It's incredibly easy. The Betaflight devs have killed themselves to make it extremely easy. Take advantage of that. And it'll make a custom built rig fly properly. If you want to get a little bit more in detail than it, and if you can handle 2 sliders instead of just 1, I know that's asking a lot for some people apparently, but the very top slider, which is D gain, move that to 1.2, fly it, make sure it's cool, then move that to 1.4, and then the second slider, move that to 1.2. So your ratio from the top to the second slider is 1.4, 1.2. Fly it, make sure it's cool. 1.6, 1.4. Fly it, make sure it's cool. 1.8, 1.6. See what I'm getting at here? That is a super simple way of tuning that'll get you like 80, 85, 90% of the way perfect. And then if you want to really nerd out, you can learn how to tune here on YouTube. There's lots of good videos on it. And then you can dial in a little bit more. But man, those 2 tuning methods are going to just, yeah, make a huge difference. Walter says, good health to you. Thank you, brother. Brandon Bean says, I make turds shiny. He does indeed. County FPV says, which blades worked best with 1102 on 1S? Buy or try? I forget what we said. Always buy blades. The tri blades are almost never as good. The only exception to the rule is the new HQ YOLO tri-blades and the new Gemfan 1219Ss, but they're not necessarily better. They're just different than the bi-blades. Yeah, with Tiny Whoops, the Gemfan bi-blades are just so goddamn good. It's weird. Metal Dirtson says, Bob's site says they're both 125 grams with ducts, so the ducts might be different, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I think... whatever. When they'll be here next week, I'll weigh them. We'll see what's what. County FPV says, I finally see what you mean about it feeling heavy. What's it, County? Tried my tried my Lava 550 on Mobula 7, and I noticed the weight immediately. Yeah, the 550s are significantly heavier than the 450s. Bransby Bean says, log the weird crossfire glitches, please. That's a great idea. Why the hell didn't I do that? Do you need me to put the debug mode on something different? Metal Dirtson says, maybe try the Gemfan 5.2 props on that rig. What rig, Metal? If you're talking about the Cineglide, they won't work. Like I said, the 5-inch props are what you have to run on when you put the hero mount. Also, the Gemfan 5.2-inch props are not pitchy enough. This is a rig with big-ass motors, meant to go fast with the big motors at least. So yeah, the pitchiest 5.2 prop is 52-36, I think it is, and that's not enough. This is a 50-47 or 51-47, I think it is. 51-47 will massively outperform a 52-36 in terms of thrust and just speed. the reason that I've got two of these things, the reason I have the Cineglide and the RazorBack, is that the RazorBack was just built to straight up go really fast. That's why it's got the 40-degree mount on it. The Cineglide was more like efficiency, was more based around efficiency, right? Being able to run the 5.5-inch props with the session on there and whatnot. But yeah, it's just I'm just realizing it's silly to have both of them. So, and to be honest, like one of these glides is going to get torn apart. There's no this is a freestyle glide, that's a freestyle glide. There's normally a freestyle glide here. This is the one that I'm going to steal the ESC out of to put into the RazorBack, and this is going to become, I don't need 4 freestyle glides. That's excessive. So one of these will get pulled apart, which will be cool because then I can have the top shelf will all be 5-inch rigs. This is my very first 5-inch rig here, so I'll be able to put this guy up here and then condense these guys all over. But yeah, that'll make me feel better. I'll sleep better at night. But Stavel says, ever been to Anaruby Falls in Helen, Georgia? Yes. The last time we did a little family trip to Helen last year, and we went there. It was gorgeous. I really wished that I'd brought Tiny Whoops with me. Next time I go, I will. Also realized, oh my God, yeah, realized this time that the place we went to, Bald Eagle, Bald what's it called? Fart Head Bald? It's such a weird name. Why? Hold on. Brasstown Bald. To go from here to Brasstown Bald takes about 2 hours. About an hour and a half into that journey is Blood Mountain, which has a couple of amazing driving roads. One of which is I forget the name of it, but I remembered it when we were going, and Maggie was iron stomached enough to let me play around. God damn it! What's the name of the road? I forget what it is, but some of the best driving roads in Georgia are right on the way there. So yeah, we're probably gonna go again, and hopefully, I will bring the Mazda 2 next time and have a good old blast. The Maggie's TSX wagon did great. It's just massive and heavy, and there was actually a screw in one of the tires. So we had like the air pump in the trunk. I didn't have the tire plug kit. That's the only car now that doesn't have a tire plug kit in it, so I couldn't plug the tire. I had to wait till I got home. But yeah, and it was there was also a check engine light for an emission system warning, but I think it's just the gas cap. So I have a new gas cap on the way. So we didn't go bananas, but yeah, it was super fun. Hogpen Gap. I knew I'd remember it. Hogpen Gap is the best driving road in Georgia, hands down. And it's right on Blood Mountain, right off of 18, I think, is the road that goes up Blood Mountain, which is another great road. So yeah, just an amazing weekend. Parkour Guy says, what is shrimp wrap? So little known fact, Parkour Guy, we call it shrink wrap, but in ancient times, it was actually called shrimp wrap because it was made from the exoskeleton of shrimp, right? Like shrimp, they don't have an internal skeleton, they have an exoskeleton. So yeah, the ancient folks figured out that you could take the exoskeleton, and if you warmed it up a little bit, it would shrink up. And that's where shrimp wrap comes from. It comes from shrimp. Shrink wrap comes from shrimp. It used to be called shrimp wrap. So I call it shrimp wrap to honor our ancestors. Little known fact, nobody really knows that. Don't look it up. Q Silver FPV Media says, can a tune, he spelled it Toon, and it just made my brain shit its pants. Can a tune make one of the motors make a quad ring or sound like a vibration ring? the tune is not doing that. It's the mechanical system that's doing that. So first of all, change the propellers. If you're running any Lumineer propellers, especially like the butter cutters, those propeller blades have a resonant frequency that matches up with the resonant frequency of a lot of frames, and they're just worthless propellers. Just get rid of all of them. So that the first thing you're going to do is change to like a gem fan or an HQ propeller. If it keeps doing it, check the arms to make sure that you don't have a delaminated arm like I showed you a minute ago. Bend the arms and then bend them on the cross side. Yeah, so check the mechanical system first. I mean, if you've got the tune like really aggressive, like really cranked up, it could be a part of the problem. But if the frame, if the motors, if the propellers, if that's all solid, it shouldn't be the issue. Also, pull your propellers off and spin the motors up in beta flight. Check if you've got one motor that's vibrating really hard more than the others. If it is, replace it. And you should find the problem in there somewhere. BLDO550 says, do the T-Motor 1103s have plugs? I have no clue. I don't have any of the T-Motor 1103s. I would just check a bunch of the product listings. Also, like, look on T-Motor's website. If you can't find a picture of them having plugs, they don't have plugs. CMYK says, what's up? Timon says, do you know the mounting pattern dimensions for the Tooth Fairy GoPro mount? I have a prototype glide frame from Bob, and I think it has that style built in. I don't, but I can get it for you. Message me, send me a picture of it, and I can tell you which mounting pattern it is. Brandon's Baked Bean says, maybe a lighter prop with the lithium ion. It might not sag out so hard. I bet it would keep trucking though if you let it ride. Yeah, well, here's the lithium ion battery actually. I know that the lithium ion battery ran for a while because the GoPro split the file. So, and it did like keep running. Like it sagged all the way down to 3.5 and I was like, wow, I got to come in already. And then I'm like, wait, you can run these down to 3.2, I think. And I just kept flying and it did just keep going. Here it is. We'll get we'll take a look at the runtime on it. Might as well throw this up. So when do we take off here? Oh, wow, we take off early. Yeah, so it ran for a while. So we took off at 22 seconds. And, like, so the beginning of the battery here, like, I'm hammering on it. Ready? So, like, ah! There we go. So I'm starting to really bang on it. And it's sagging like a motherfucker. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to ruin this battery. I'm not going to hang on it, just hammer on it super hard. Still messing around trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the weird failsafe situation. So yeah, and I mean, even this is like pushing it. Basically, the way that I flew this battery is I would just use whatever amount of throttle got it down to 3.5 volts. Like the entire battery, all I did was just alter my throttle with keeping it at 3.5 volts, which I'm assuming is the thing to do. But yeah, I wanted a lot more power than what this was willing to give me. So yeah, run. 22 seconds is when we took off, and now it split the file. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I didn't look at the end of that file. Well, it's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So yeah, okay. So there's 5 minutes on here. 5 minutes of run. My God, this battery lasted forever. 5 minutes of runtime on that first file, and then I was farting around over here. I was not flying it efficiently. I mean, I guess I was flying it efficiently because I was using whatever amount of throttle kept it at 3.5 volts all the time, and that was not much. But, you know, I'm going up in altitude, I'm dropping altitude, I'm going back up in altitude, I'm dropping down altitude, and that's not a very efficient way to fly. So it ran a long time. It ran 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, so that's pretty goddamn good. Yeah, 6 minutes 20 seconds, and there was a point where I went like really high. and then did like a massive dive. So yeah, all right, it runs for a while, but it just sucks. Like it wasn't a fun battery to fly at all, because all I was doing is staring down at my individual cell voltage and like, no, not 3.4, and just backing off the throttle. So yeah, it wasn't a fun battery to fly, but damn, it did run a while. Jesus. Kevin Sumner says old school. He also says FPVCycle, 21 millimeter, 2300 kV. That flight was on a 4S 88 gram battery, 6S 120 battery. Tries to fly to the moon. Yeah, it's the frame, Kevin. I didn't realize that the Cinesplore frame was that finicky, because mine were so lightweight for so long, and then as they got heavier and heavier, I started to have these weird issues with it. Yeah, 3 millimeter thick arms are just not thick enough. Any idea if the new Cinesplore takes the StanFPV ducts? Yep, it uses all the same stuff. It'll be not this. Well, apparently not the same GoPro mount. Bob, get back to me yet? Sometimes he gets back to me way quick. Of course he did. Not quite the same. Should I edit the order? Yes, please. Does it use the tooth fairy mount? Let's see if we can myth bust this shit. Cinesplore 2. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's the duct. Where are the? Bob will reply to me by the time I find this. Probably 3D printed parts. Let's see. Glide, Cineglide, Cinesplore, 4-ride. Nope. Where is the Tooth Fairy mount? Yeah, there we go. Tooth Fairy 2, antenna mount and GoPro mount. Tooth Fairy 2. No, well, we'll see. It looks a lot like the Tooth Fairy mount, and I'll tell you in a second. Bob will get back to me in a second. There's an image that's trying to load over here that won't load. What's happening? Facebook, do you ever work? Or is it just, are you just always garbage? Always garbage? Okay, I had a feeling. All right, yeah, I'll let you know when he gets back to me. I gotta be honest, I wish the new Cinesplore used the old Cinesplore mount. I don't love the Tooth Fairy mount. It's a little, like, kind of wobbly, but it's probably fine. Ken Weeks says, I fly with 18-inch props on an X8. If the props are out of balance, the harmonic resonance will shake the bolts out of the thing. Yeah, I'll say so. Jesus Christ. 18-inch propellers? What the hell? Good Lord. That's ridiculous. My God. 661 FPV. Luckily, with 5-inch rigs, the propellers are incredibly well balanced. Bigger than 5-inch props, this is a huge problem that a lot of the lifter guys run into. I assume it's just because those are fairly new, right? Like 5-inch propellers have been made forever. So the manufacturers have had tons of time to get the molds and everything dialed in so that they're really well balanced. Also, the bigger a propeller is, I guess the harder it is to balance. I don't know about that, though. 661 says, so far the BetaFPV 1102 is still smooth. I flew 6 packs in a playground, crashed the crap out of it at least a dozen times. They're lighter than the 1103 11,000 motors they replaced, so more crash testing is needed, but it has a crap load of power. I don't know when I'm going to go into the 2S thing, but sooner than later. I just got to get the bench cleared out first. Rain Squad FPV says, are you going to try the Caddx Cinewhoop? Probably not. I forget what review I watched it, but the way that the camera mounts is really dumb, and I don't know. I just wasn't all that impressed by it. Yeah, I don't know. Parkour Guy says, what does the D Wobble slider do? Why is it at 0 on some happy model boards by default in the tune like the X12? So the D Wobble slider is called D Max. And basically what it does is it allows the PID tune to raise the D gain only when it needs it. So basically when the quad goes off set point and it goes into prop wash or any number of different situations, that set point is what you're telling it to do with your sticks. So when it goes off set point is when it's doing something that you're not telling it to do. You don't tell it to prop wash, right? You don't do a power loop and then on the way down in the back of the power loop go to get it to prop wash, right? When it prop washes, you're holding the stick steady, and so it's going off set point. It also goes off set point at the end of a flip and a roll. You go over, you go back. You don't go over, back, and then wiggle, right? Anytime it's not doing exactly what you're telling it to do, it's going off set point. What you're telling it to do is the set point. So every time the quad goes off set point, if you're using D-Max, if you have the D-Max turned on, it will move the D-gain up. D-gain is what really eats prop wash and gets the thing back onto set point. P and I gain also help, but D-gain does the majority of the work. So D-Max is a way for you to run a lower regular... D-gain also causes motor heat. So if you run D-Max... Oh man, it doesn't use the Tooth Fairy mounts. Yikes. Oh, that sucks. I gotta be honest, that's a... okay, Brain 3D has it all. Alright, so yeah, the Tooth Fairy 2 uses a specific mount. I don't love that, but I'm sure that was out of necessity. I'm sure Bob didn't do that to screw us, because he doesn't even sell the mounts. Damn, okay. Well, I might as well just open a Brain 3D tab, because otherwise I will forget. I have an affiliate link to Brain 3D, by the way, friends. Whenever you need the best 3D printed shit on earth. We want Cinesplore 2. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wait, no. What? Oh, here it is. Wait, is that it? No. What? Where is it? Bueller? What? Let's take the 2 out. What? GoPro. Let's just do all. I think if I do all products, it's yeah. It's from newest to oldest. So the Cinesplore 2 is fairly new, so it should. Oh no, then Alien Mount is not newest to oldest. Okay. What if we search for FPVCycle? FPVCycle. Nope. Did I just miss it? No, this is a session mount. Cineglide. Nope. Hero 8. Hero 11 Mini. Hero 567. No, it's not on here. I don't see them on his site anywhere. Am I the dumb? So yeah, you can run your regular D gain a little bit lower and then have your D max up a little bit higher. When it needs it, it'll move up towards D max. When it doesn't need it, it'll move down. I like D max a lot. It adds some complexity to the tuning, and a lot of people just turn it off. That's when you zero it out, it turns it off. I don't know. For me, I've had really good luck with D-Max. I don't know. I've yet to have problems with it that I've ever really seen. So yeah, I don't know. I think everybody should run it. But I know one of the things that Brandon's Baked Beans actually does is that he turns it off a lot. I don't know if maybe he turns it off just to get the tune knocked out, and then we just don't talk about it because he knows I'm going to turn it back on. But yeah, during your tuning process, it does make tuning more difficult because it's moving the D gain around. So it makes sense for him to want to turn it off because he wants to get the tune as close to perfect as possible. And you want to do that with it off, so it's not moving the D gain around. You can get the D gain as high as possible. And then you almost can argue that you don't need it at that point, but it only pushes the D gain up for a little bit of time, a short amount of time. In theory, you then also have to have the advance and the gain set properly. The default numbers on the gain on the gain and the advance are really good. I typically don't have to change them, but yeah, that's what D Wobble slider is. That's what D-Max is. Parkour Guy says, what does anti-gravity do, and how should I know if you need to tune that number? Basically, anti-gravity kills when you jump off the throttle real quick. If you have a little bobble, it takes care of that. So if when you come off the throttle real quick, you get this weird like nose down or just little wiggle, you want to turn your anti-gravity up, but the stock setting is really good. Parkour Guy also says, what's your preferred prop for the 75mm with IGO 802? Biblades. Biblades forever on Tiny Whoops. Brands by Peen says, use the debug mode, RC smoothing. All right, cool. CMYK says, did you just touch my butt? 10-second runtime says, are HDO2s the best Walksnail at... What? Are HDO2s the best... HDO2s with Walksnail Avatar VRX, I think is what he's trying to say. The best analog goggle setup. No. Running a module on the front of goggles makes them very, very front heavy, and they're very uncomfortable. And I mean, there's never really like a best. There's only ever just different, right? So get rid of the idea of anything ever being the best. There's never the best. There's maybe there's the best for you, but like, yeah, you got to give a lot more info to get to that, and that's typically like a personal journey you have to go on, is to figure out what's best for you. But yeah, there just isn't. There isn't a best setup. There's just different setups. There's different setups for different prices. Different setups have a better DVR, or certain things will have a. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want the best quality image, for example, the HD0 goggles have an interlaced DVR in them. So if you only want 30 frames a second, you can get slightly better image quality out of your analog DVR with the really expensive HD0 goggles. If you want 60 frames a second, can't use those. You got to use another goggle that has an 1/8 inch video out, like what the Fat Sharks all have, and then you have to use an immersion RC power play, and then you can get 60 frames a second out of certain analog cameras. So yeah, there's just not best. There's just different, which is a annoying answer, but it's the real answer, and those are the ones I give. Mick Bucas says, is there a vegan option for shrimp wrap? There's not. You have to kill massive amounts of shrimp. Back in the olden days, you had to kill loads of shrimp to insulate your wiring. It was a real bloodbath. Parkour Guy says, what size motor screws do you use? The size that is correct for whatever the build is that you're doing. You need screws that are long enough to go through the frame into the motor base, but you need motor screws that are not too long that they go through the motor base and touch the windings. Parkour Guy's getting his money worth tonight. Holy hell. He also asks, finally got my Mobula 6 2024. Is the extra weight savings making a stripped antenna worth it with how light it is? You got to answer that question for yourself, my friend. I have no idea. You're going to get worse video quality, but it's going to be slightly better. So you're going to get a little bit more runtime, a little bit better flight characteristics, but worse video. And that's a decision that you have to make personally. I can't answer that for you. Danzel the Turbo says, in and out of the stream, what Cinesplore mount is wobbly? Did CIOTFPV mean GoPro mount? We can make a better one. The Tooth Fairy mounts, they don't actually wobble in flight, but like they're just, the mount base is really narrow, and so like when you have a camera in there and you push on it, the mount just kind of moves back and forth a little bit. It doesn't do anything in the air though. It's fine. Jeremy says, have you tried WeBleed 0702 28,500 with the knurled shaft? I have, probably about a year ago. I tried those motors. They're all, so all of the Tiny Whoop, all of the WeBleed motors, they're all made by Happy Model. And at this point, I believe that they all have knurled shafts. I haven't seen any real difference in durability with the WeBleed motors versus any of the other Happy Model motors. So yeah, my assumption is that WeBleed asked for the knurled shaft between the motor shaft and the bell, and then WeBleed went, oh, that's a great idea. And instead of just doing it on the custom run of motors that they do for WeBleed, they do it on all of their motors now. Don't quote me on that, but why would they not do that? You know what I mean? Why would they not just change all their motors over? But even if they haven't, I have not seen any difference in any of the WeBleed motors' durability in terms of the shaft slipping on the bell. I don't really have that happen much. I've only really had that happen to me like twice, maybe 3 times in the last like 3 years of brushless motors. So it's not a super common thing. But yeah. Buy the motors that are in the size and the KV that you want the most. If there are multiples, get the color that you want the most, and you'll be good to go. Or get whichever one is in stock at whatever affiliate link I have. Jake FPV says, or Sky Zones, they have 60 frame per second DVR. Yeah, there are lots of things different about all these different goggles. You got to make that decision for yourself. There's never going to be just a best for everybody. You know, even down to like the faceplates are differently shaped, right? So one set of goggles might be perfect for me, and I love them and they fit my face perfectly, and then you might absolutely hate them because you're a different person. Yeah, just always throw out the idea of there ever being something that's best. Everything is just different. And yeah, you got to spend a little bit of time and look at a bunch of reviews usually to figure out which one works. Sometimes I've tried every single possible option. That's pretty rare though. So yeah. Metadertson says, I thought the 8mm Glide plus Cinesplore 2 used the same GoPro mount as the new style Glide mount, but obviously Bob would know. Yeah, I have not kept up with the new FPVCycle stuff. 1B67 says, what's your ideal 03 5-inch style rig? Super durable. My ideal 03 5-inch freestyle rig would be something that doesn't carry a GoPro, because in my opinion, the only reason to run 03 is if you're not going to run a GoPro. Like the selling point of the 03, and the only reason to spend that much money on it, is if you're going to use it as an HD cam. And I have not looked. I have not looked at what 5-inch freestyle rigs that there are that keep the props out of view. It would be a weird frame. So yeah, I actually have no idea. But that's what I would be looking for. I would be looking for a 5-inch frame that somehow mounts the FPV camera in a way. Also, it's going to need to be soft mounted, because the 03 has a hard time apparently with jello. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for. You know, you could just run any old frame and then just run gray props in the front, and you'll barely be able to see the props in view. But yeah, that's what I would be looking for. I haven't looked, so I've unfortunately no idea. I'm not much of a help today. It is summertime, and I am going to start paying more attention to 5-inch stuff, though. So at some point, I'll have a better answer for you. I just don't have one today. Sorry. And I'm caught up on chat. Bench clearing Brawl time. No, 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 no! Jake sent me some mounts. Thank you, Jake. These are the Batwing mounts. This is one of every of the new Batwing mounts that Timmons has absolutely... That was probably very loud. Sorry, friends. Timmons has done a great job on these mounts. And, yeah, Jake was willing to... Oh, look at that! Amazing! That's a legit sticker right there. A little bit of watermelon action. I love it, Jake. Thank you, dude. Yeah, Jake printed me one of every mount. He even put a little thing on there that says Bat Wings. I love it. And he also printed me the little newbie drone battery straps that they do have on their website. If you want to hang your battery below your cockroach frame, which we're going to play around with in the future, you can do that with these little guys that you can download from the newbie drone website. So yeah, these are the new Bat Wings, and apparently some of these have a little bit of up tilt baked in, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, there it is. So this one has a little bit of up tilt added in, which is really, really cool. Awesome. I need to figure out which one is which. It looks like this one should be for the Runcam Nano because the hole in it is smaller. And then, yeah, I'm going to play around with these. You'll see these on a future live stream. I'm not going to take up too much time with them. But yeah, I got to try to figure out which one's which. And then we will get those onto the... It's cool. I don't think I've ever seen this clear TPU before. This will look really neat on the clear cockroach frames. That's cool. I like that. Jake, thank you, dude. Very, very cool. This is a box from WeBleed. I had to get some stuff. What is this? This is a BetaFPV box with something in it. Oh, yeah. So these are the BT 3.0 450 mAh batteries. Big bastards. These are probably going to get used on a toothpick build. This is not for the Walksnail Tiny Whoop build. These are just too heavy. These are big, fat, unnecessarily heavy batteries for a Tiny Whoop. But yeah, there's going to be a BT 3.0 toothpick, probably in a sub 250 FPV frame sooner than later. And so I snagged these batteries for that. Jake says, I don't know what color to print. I just use the absence of color filament. Yeah, here we go. This is what I'm going to use to charge these BT 3.0 batteries. And it's also a little bit of battery check, a little battery checker. These are really great. I absolutely love these. BetaFPV makes them for BT 2.0. They've got two little ports for charging. One of the ports is a battery tester, and then USB-C on the back. This is the BT 3.0 version. Looks like it only has a spot for one. But look, it doesn't look like it would be a battery checker because there's no screen on it. But this is ever so slightly see-through. So when you plug it in, there you go. 784, 391. Look at them overcharging it a little bit. Come on, man. You're going to kill these poor batteries. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to use to charge all these BT 3.0s. These are amazing. If you don't have one of these for BT3 or BT2, get them. These are just super handy to have. When you carry your battery checker with you, you also have a charger. It charges slowly, but it's a charger. That's amazing. These are so nice. All right, so we got that. I think I got some. Yeah, I got some more. On the other order, I only got one single BT 3.0 lead. And in here, I got a couple more. So we got some BT 3.0 leads. And this guy, I have a box somewhere where I'm keeping all that. Oh, no, I put it all in a bag. I've got a build bag. This is the BT 3.0 build bag. So yeah, these go in there. Those batteries go in there. This guy goes in there. And there might even be something else in here for the BT 3.0 bags. Zotek wrote me a note. He says, "Hey, Aaron, thank you for the order. WeBleed Zotek. Thank you very much, homie. I have rabies. I can't do it. There we go. All right, cool. What else we got? Some more of... So Zotek has a bunch of propellers that the prop manufacturers are making red only for him. These are the Gemfan 1219S's in red. Since I was doing an order, I figured I'd snag a bunch of them. I don't need these, but yeah, can only get them in red from WeBleed, and you know, red is my logo color. And then these are the HQ YOLO props in red, which is very, very cool. You can only get them from him, so I snagged a couple of sets of those. He threw in some of this really thin cob LED, which is amazing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure something out. I wonder what voltage it needs. Let's give it 1S voltage and see if it lights up. Round is ground. So ground and voltage. Oh my God, it lights up like a son of a bitch. Whoa. That is wild. Holy Christ, that's bright, dude. Whoa, okay. They may or may not have touched. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Round is ground. What else we got here? Round is ground. This is... Why am I doing this? Woo! Pink as fuck. I'm going to stop there. Man, that is bright for just running off 1S. Very cool. Thank you, Zotek. This is... I'm going to do something cool with these. Damn. What else we got? Oh, yeah, right. The main reason that I was doing an order is I needed a few more BT 2.0 450 mAh batteries. I've had a couple that I over discharged and really hurt. So yeah, and I've also got a set of these that they fit like right, and they got the 300s back in stock too. So I wanted to snag a little set of the 300s. So yeah, I got a 4-pack of 300s and a 4-pack of the 450s, just so that I'm topped back up on batteries. Whenever you get a new set of batteries, get yourself a set of metallic Sharpies and mark them. Mark your batteries as a set when you first get them. Try to mark them somewhere that you're not going to touch, because you'll rub this off. So what I do is I do them up here by the plugs. So go up by the plug, which you never touch, and just leave some color. And mark every set of batteries that you get a different color, so that you know roughly how long ago you got them. And you'll have like a set of batteries that's blue, and you'll be like, oh yeah, those are the blue ones. Those are starting to fail. I must have gotten them a long time ago. It's just a simple little thing that's going to make your life easier. It also allows you to kind of keep track of which batteries maybe last longer than others. Although these folded cell batteries are all the same. I'm convinced that they're all coming out of the same place. Apparently, never mind. I'm not supposed to say that. Jacob, we got that. Brains by Bean says, I fly a 5-inch Freestyle frame that keeps the O3 protected and props totally out of view, but it's soft mounted with iFlight silicone. The Bad for Life SAF503. I built 2 this past month. There you go. If you want props out of view, Brandon's Baked Beans knows what's what, so I would trust that for sure. McMucus says, Peruvians don't get rabies. You crack me up whilst I learn. Thank you. What? Peruvians don't get rabies? What's that mean? Is that a real thing? Now that I've got a bunch of these, I have not been marking up the 450s. So I'm going to start now. And I think that all of my blue marker 300 mAh batteries have have died, so I think I'm safe to use blue again. All right. And there we go. Tracking batteries. One battery at a time. Let me check something, though. Let me check to make sure these aren't really difficult to plug in. Because one of these sets of 450s I got, yeah, no, these are good again. Okay, cool. There was a set of 450s that that Zotac sent me for free that fit like really, they were really difficult to plug and unplug. So perfect giveaway batteries. I don't blame them for even a second for doing that. I appreciate it very much, actually, because they still work totally fine. They're just tough to plug and unplug. A couple of batteries. These aren't batteries. These are stickers. And that's that, my friends. Oh, and a Meteor 75 black frame. This is... Yeah. Some of you guys said that you've had better luck with the Meteor 75 frames in terms of durability than the Meteor 75 Air or Mobula 7 V4. So he had these, so I snagged one of these. I've tried this frame before, and I didn't like it. So I don't know, but I'm willing to give it a shot again because I trust you guys. The BT 3.0 build bag is ready to go. I just need to find the time to do it soon. Soon. Sorry, buddy. Buddy, you want to be on camera? Come here. Come here, little boy. Come here. Come on, buddy. Everybody loves you and wants to see you. Come on. Oh, hello. Stretchy boy was sleeping. Oh. He's stinky. He's a stinky dog. Oh boy, here we go. Oh boy. Here we go, it's biting time. There you go, boy. Cool, bench time. Just move this, and let's just bring this mic over. All right, cool. Here we go. This is the for sale rig. We're going to revisit this in a second, but first, let's fix the Mobula 6 2024 because it deserves to be fixed and flown hard. What happened to you? How did you die? Where did you die? How is this possible? I guess it's dead up in here somewhere. Very annoying. Mobula 6 2024. One of the things that sucks about direct soldering motors is that they break off from the AIO. And that's exactly what happened here. And so now the repair process is going to be super annoying. I'm going to try to do it the least possible annoying way. I'm going to try to not completely tear this thing to pieces in order just to fix one single motor wire. Let's see if it works. I don't know if this is going to work, but it's worth a shot because otherwise I got to take all the propellers off. I got to take all 4 motors out, which means taking all the screws out, all the screws on the canopy. I mean, the canopy screws have to come off no matter what because I have to move the AIO up a little bit to be able to get the soldering iron in. So yeah, here's the amount of work that's required. And for the record, with the motor connectors, the motor wires don't break like this. So this isn't even like a repair. You can't even like one-to-one compare this to a setup with motor wires in terms of like how long this repair would take. this failure just wouldn't happen with the motor plugs because they're crimped to the motor plugs. So yeah, let's see how quick I can possibly do this repair here with direct soldered motors. Because I'll be honest, I am warming up to the idea of direct soldered motors, especially on these higher power setups that we're doing, like mainly on the 75s. Because as the power levels go up, there's a chance that the motor plugs could be causing a significant amount of actual loss. But yeah, the serviceability is just such a shit show that I'm trying to not go down that road, but I don't know. We'll see. And this is actually gonna... This will be interesting. Let's see how much of a pain in the ass this is. So, alright. So here is the wire that broke free. So I need to strip this, and we're gonna retin it. Ow! Alright. So that is now stripped. And so basically what I've done so far is I removed just the screws from this one motor and then all the screws from the canopy. And I pushed the AIO up off of the canopy mounts. And this will give me, it looks like just enough room to sneak the soldering iron in here. The first thing I'm going to need to do is get the broken off wire strands out from the pad. And then I can solder the new wire. Let's see. This is probably a scenario where the OmniFuxo is going to be gold. So let's see if we can grab the frame here. We'll set it up like this. And now let me see if I can grab the frame up here as well. Yeah, that's nice. All right. That holds it nice and sturdy. Okay, great. And so I just want to kind of rotate this up. Oh, all right, so hold on. Let's actually grab it here. There we go. Okay, so here's this. And now I want to try to tin this wire not directly over the board. All right, perfect. So I put the wire in the duct here. So let's get some solder on that. Where's my little spool of solder? There it is. All right, so let's tin this wire. Try not to melt the frame while I'm at it. All right, wire is tinned. Now let's get these wires out of the way. And so now I got to heat this pad up and see if I can pull that. Oh, let me put the nerd goggles on so I can see what I'm doing. I need to try to get those little strands out of the little pocket there. Usually what I'll do is just try to heat it up and pull like that. Yep, that seems to be working. Clean the tip. And then we'll do it again. And we'll pull up. It's kind of working, maybe. All right, yeah, there's the bundle of wires. I just need to get it off of there. I think some of it just came off on the tip of the soldering iron. So what I'm doing is I'm using the tip of the soldering iron to try to dig into the little pocket that the wires are in. To try to get those little individual strands out of there. All right, so let's try this. The solder just keeps moving around. Let's get some solder braid in there, and we'll remove the solder, and then the little individual strands of wire will be a little bit more accessible, hopefully. We'll just hold that on there. It's not working all that well. Let's try just the tip of the braid here. Not working great. Let's get the pad hot first. All right, and then we'll bring the braid in. I've had good luck with that in the past. Not doing great. Not doing doing pretty terrible. Let's see. Maybe we got just about enough of it off. Get it hot one more time. I think we're okay. I think maybe enough of the strands of wire came out of there that we're okay. Let me look at it from the bottom, if I can. No, there's a bunch of those strands down here in the bottom. Oh, this is ugly. Oh shit, that was the wrong pad. Jesus. All right, I think we're good. All right, and so now we're gonna get that wire that we tinned. Where the hell is it? Get out of here. You get out of here too. All right, so the wire that we tinned is over here. Get it where it needs to be. And all right, hold on. Balls. There we go. All right, hold on. It's the strands of wire have kind of flattened themselves out. Let's make them round again. There we go. That looks good. All right, and so let's grab it here. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. All right, so if I hold it here with these tweezers, then I can come in with these tweezers, and there we go. That's it. That should be good. And now it's in position. All right, it's kind of there. I just need to get some solder on, some extra solder on there. Since I used the wick, I guess I removed a little bit of the extra solder. So now the wire's in place, but it's not going to stay in place, so you got to make sure you still hold it. So get another grip on the wire, add a little bit of solder to the tip of the soldering iron, just a little bit, and then come on. Soldering iron tip is not clean enough. Solder's not sticking to it. All right, that's better. There we go. Okay, got a nice blob on there. Hold the wire. Blob it up. The wire popped off. I gotta get it repositioned. Oh shit. Oh boy, that looks terrible. I think we're all out of flux. I just picked that fresh solder up, but whatever. Let's add some flux here. Allergies are going nuts again. All right, let's come back in here. And so we're just going to put heat on it. The flux is doing its thing. And that should be good. Okay. Let me just reflow the one pad that I kind of accidentally heated up a minute ago. There we go. You want to make sure that you're getting these wires, getting the silicone right up against the board on these. I'm actually going to do this one as well. That's going to make a big difference for durability. If you've got... Woo! Damn. If you've got... Oh, God. Oh! If you've got wire... All right, so here's the individual strands. Here's the silicone. So that... All right, look, ready? So this is the end of the silicone here. Imagine I have like another pinky knuckle up here like this, right? And then these are the individual strands. Got me, right? So this is where the silicone ends, and these are your individual strands. You've got the pocket on the board. If you've got these individual strands on the board like that, and you've got this gap where my mouth is, the individual strands will bend, break. You need to take this and push it all the way up like that. You need the board, you need the silicone to push right up against the board so that all of the bending that's going to happen is with the silicone. And the silicone will round that bend out. If you just have those individual strands of wire, they're much easier to be the bending point, and they'll bend every time. And they'll, one by one, they'll break. And there's like 7 strands, so they break pretty quick. Yeah, we crashed the shit out of this, but I've only put like 50, 60 batteries through this, and we already had one of these wires break off. And what I just noticed is that they were pulled, there was a little bit of the individual strands showing, so I reflowed each one of those joints and just pushed the wires a little bit farther. Make sense? JKFPV says, do you have a side-by-side of all the nano cams you've tested? Yes, it's on the Discord. It's going to be in the Tiny Whoop part of the Discord. You're going to have to scroll back a bunch. Just search my YouTube channel and you can get the date, and then you can scroll back to the date. I've done it on stream probably twice now, and it's going to happen again at some point. Oh, God. Hockey Round says, don't be lazy, work like a gentleman. Deal. Ooh. Come on now. Kevin Summer says, you've reminded me that I need to make sure all my Tiny Whoops are ready before Micro Mayhem eats them. Yeah, if you bring a Tiny Whoop to Micro Mayhem, don't expect to go home with it in one piece. It is brutal. Everything is metal, and the floor grates are violently angry. But, you know, it's going to cost you, what, $20 to fix your Tiny Whoop when you come home, and you're going to fly the best Tiny Whoop spot ever. You'll love it. It's totally worth it. Easy, OmniFixo. Jesus. Get off of there. Stop it. All right, so this guy's good to go. That wasn't too bad. You know, a repair that, if it had motor plugs, would have taken 60 seconds. Took us, I don't know, what, 15, 20 minutes? If you're really good at soldering, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I want to jump off a building, but hey, I'm pretty lazy. So, I don't know. The direct soldering thing is still not my favorite. But it's not like the end of the world. Let's get this. Whew. Mick Muka says, just replaced my Meteor 75 frame after 4 months of hard flying. Never broke the ducts, just deformed. Have a regular 6 months old. Still flies great. Nice. All right, so this is the ELRS antenna. I just want to get it out of here, and I want to put it up through there. There we go. Okay, better. Much better. All right, so let's get this guy back together here. First is the canopy, and we can fly a couple of batteries on it. I think I should have a bunch of batteries that need to get discharged that I charged up for this weekend. All right. And there we go. Since this was just a repair, like, we won't need to hook this up to Betaflight or anything like that. I didn't desolder all the motor leads and resolder them all randomly, right? So the motors will still be spinning in the right direction, and we'll be all set. Oh boy, I love for this to end. All right, Mobula 6 2024 canopy back on. Now we're going to take this motor and spin it a little bit to twist these leads up. Don't do it too hard because you don't want to pull on the leads because you'll be the reason that the damn things break off. So just give it a little bit of twist there. By twisting it up, it literally removes some of the turbulence from the thrust that's pushing down, right? You bundle the wires together instead of having 3 individual wires blocking the thrust. You wouldn't think that that's a big deal, but it is. Anything blocking thrust below these motors is the bad. So get your shit neat and tidy. Okay, there we go. Professional bean man, Keela Zebra says. What the hell does that mean? Roll that beautiful bean footage. Brandon, how do you not have that sound bite at the beginning of every single thing that you put up on YouTube? Missed opportunity. It's short enough that you won't get copyright dinged for it. All right, there we go. And that is cranked down. And then the other thing I do is I just push this wire bundle to the side so it's like right next to the standoffs. That's how you have the least amount of shit blocking thrust. Let's throw this prop back on it and fly it around the room. Ouchie. There we go. Are all the other propellers sitting all the way down? Yes, they are. Here we go. We'll do this and then we'll jump into another repair. Or a test or whatever, something or other. WeBleed tin. Band-Aid tin. I'm not fighting allergies, Kilo Zebra. I'm getting my ass whooped by allergies. I flew outside today, and yeah, this is why I don't go outside, yo. This is not why I don't go outside. I go outside for lots of other reasons. Okay. Bad people are outside. Stay away from them. Okay. Let's see if I get the weird micro fail-safes. Usually I do. Oh, hey. That big dumb crossfire module. Okay. Powering up. Turn that on too early. No reason for that. Let's do a lava battery, see how that is. Okay, flat spots away. All right, Mobula 6 2024 lightly upgraded. With a RunCam Nano 4 and and the old school canopy. Basically the old school camera and canopy setup. Hello, Teddy Spaghetti. Oh, he's chasing. And yeah, I'm already getting the weird. See it? Fail-safe thing. Now it's fine though. It only did it a couple times there. I don't understand why it does it. Oh, there it did it. On the right, y'all. See how it just snapped? So I'm gradually pushing softly into yaw. Now it's fine. Let's fly. So yeah, it's not crossfire related. Oh my god, it's this transmitter. Rob Axelstone on a previous stream mentioned that one of his buddies had a similar situation with an old QX7. He took the QX7 apart and reflowed all of the solder connections in it, and it was all better. I've had this QX7 for over 7 years, and it's been my main transmitter that whole time. So it has done very well. I didn't quite get there. Oh my god, that was a big whip. Oh, we're gonna call that the whip. Yeah. This is the whip gap. The whip. What can we call that? The whip. Just the whip. Hey! Don't you dare. Oh, get you some. Get you some, my friends. Ah, shit. I shouldn't have said it. Should we just call it the whip? Is that the whip? Oh! Gotta have a better name than that. Uh-oh. Ah! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look out, Teddy. Don't get bit. Oh, doggy, relax. Oh! I tried to shoot that gap backwards. The gap shot me backwards instead. Ah, that was... Nope. Ah, I don't know why I didn't add throttle. That was very weird. Oh, that was sloppy. Sloppy slop bag. Meteor... Nope. Module 6 2024 is all better. Oh, hey! Ooh, with this spicy, tasty, delicious rearm. Oh boy, what was that? Battery is done. Damn, dude, this thing flies so good at this crazy lightweight. My goodness. Cool, it's back. One rig fixed. Next. The Cool Whip. Yes, that's it. It's the Cool Whip. That's it. The Cool Whip. The Cool Whip. Cool. Say cool. Cool. Say whip. Whip. Say Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Say cool. Cool. Say whip. Whip. Say Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Ooh, gross. Teddy, why you gotta be so disgusting? Damn dogs. Gross dogs. Oh my god, it's 12:15 already? We only repaired one thing? This wasn't a bench clearing brawl. Let's get this for sale rig into BetaFlight and take a look at it. We'll spin the motors up, see what's happening. Yeah, I thought we were gonna be able to get through this tonight. Thought we were gonna get through all three of these tonight. What was I thinking? Some good questions in chat, though. It's always important to me to prioritize the Q&A portion of all these live streams. Man, that thing just booted up quick. Close, connect, and motors. This is on 4.3.1. Fuck motor direction. Let's just spin the motors up and see what's happening. Okay. All right. I gotta get this on the BL Heli. I forgot about that. Disconnect. Oops, sorry. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. Let's go to escconfigurator.com. We're gonna connect. We are going to read settings. Come on. Yeah, it's on BL Heli. Yes, let's get it out of there. We're gonna flash all OH5. Can we get OH5 BlueJ 0.16? Let's find out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, O, L, O, H, OH5, there it is, OH548. I probably already have it in my downloads. Flash local firmware, downloads, and that's CH. OH548, there it is. Open it, flash it, away we go. I put the motors on with the red dots in the proper spots. So with the motor direction set to normal, this should be good to go. Tooltip for PWM dithering says increases the effective PWM resolution to 2,000 steps. It's recommended to leave this on with a PWM frequency above 24 kilohertz. We will turn that on. Minimum startup power. The least amount of power applied when starting the motors. Increase if the motors are not able to spin after arming. Maximum startup power limits the power when starting motors or reversing direction. While I'm waiting, I just read tooltips. Okay, so we're going to leave this all alone. We're going to move the beep strength up because the beeper is extremely quiet on these little guys. So move the beep strength up to 150 or so. Beacon delay, we're going to set to 2 minutes. If it's just sitting there for 2 minutes, it'll start beeping. Brake on stop, we're going to turn on, and PWM dithering is on. We're going to write settings. None of that stuff is all that interesting. That's just really subtle changes to the ESC settings. All right, cool. So now we're good to go here. Let's go back to Betaflight. And, well, what the fuck? What is this shit? Why would they ship it like this? What are you doing? Good God, man. Let me pull the battery. This is not an easy... I'm actually just gonna diff this from another rig. This setup is not the best. These Mobula 6s come with really weird shit set up in them. Let's update the firmware. I'm not in the mood to do a full setup with this. Oh wow, 4.5 is out as of 2 days ago. I'll be damned. Well, shit, might as well. 4.5. I'm not going to be able to do a diff from another one. Well, I'll try it. What the hell? 4.5.0. Jeez. Denzel the Terrible says, get the GIMP. Jesus. All right. Flash it, you bastard. Hey, Brandon, is there anything really interesting for Tiny Whoops in 4.5? No? Okay. Thanks, dude. Usually, kind of, mostly. Yeah, that's been my experience as well. It's like... there'll be like one or two things that goes red. Other than that, it's fine. Looks like I need a new configurator. That's okay. Accelerometer is enabled but not configured. Let's calibrate the accelerometer. Let's accelerate the calibrometer real quick here. Okay, that's good to go. Ports. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna diff this from another rig. This is ridiculous. I have so many of these on the exact same. Well, let's do this. Let me see what gyro is on this one, and then I'll pull a diff off of another one that's on a similar gyro. I might as well get the new configurator while I'm at it. Derp a derp a derp a derp a derp. There we go. Mac OS. All right, cool. Let's come back here and we're gonna type to figure out what gyro you've got. Type status, and this has a BMI 270. There it is. Oh, you know, I could have told that from the fact that the gyro loop time was set to 3.2K in configuration. It was staring me right in the face. Right here. See how the gyro update frequency is 3.2? That's a dead giveaway. That's a BMI 270. So yeah, flashing the new firmware fixed the PID loop frequency only being at 0.8 kilohertz. What the hell was that about? Arm angle, let's set this to 180 to turn it off. Save. Now, we're just gonna diff from another one. Why not this one sitting right here? Hey, let's see what version of beater flight is on this one. If it's 4.4, I'll use it. Connect 4.3. Nah, we won't use this one. I have one floating around here that's on 4.4. Which one would that be? That would be this little fella, I believe. Let's take a quick look. Okay. Got that. Right. 4.3. Damn. One of these is on 4. Oh, I know which one it is. It's the it's one of the little cinematic jib jabs that I've got in the thing here in the place. So it's probably gonna be this one. Let's see. 4.4. Where are you? This might also be on a BMI 270. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yay, 4.43. All right, so we're going to come in here. I do not recommend that you do this. Type diff. That's going to give me everything that's different. And so that's going to pull my rates in. That's going to pull everything that I've changed in. And we're going to copy it. And then we're going to unplug it. Grab the other one. Yo, I really like this thing. I really, really do. This is available over on tinywhoop.com. It's really nice. Really well designed. Very cool. Transmitter is still on for some reason. Okay, so that diff is now in the clipboard. So we're going to plug the new one in. And we're just going to paste it into the CLI. Come in here, connect, close, CLI. We're going to paste. And when we hit enter, we're going to look for red text. Red text means it can't understand the line of code. And we're good. Look at that. Between 4.43 and 4.5, in my diff, they haven't changed the name of anything. The main way that a diff can screw you is if they've changed the name of min check to, instead of min underscore check, to just min space check. And then your diff will copy in min underscore check and it won't get that. But we got lucky on this one. So let's hit save. And now that should have pretty much everything. That warning is, yep, smart audio is enabled here. Craft name we're going to remove because It's not going to be mine soon. Save and reboot. Whenever you do a diff, always spot check this stuff. Always go through all the tabs and make sure there's nothing that's going to murder a child. Okay, that all looks good. Fine. PID tune is not super aggressive, probably because it's a BMI 270. Motor output limit 100. Dynamic idle is turned off. That's interesting. Let's turn it on. Put it to 30. It's a good round number. Rate profile. These are my rates. Wow, a lot of throttle expo. Let's back that off because it's a freestyle rig. Okay. Throttle midpoint is set at 0.32. We'll dial that in the OSD. Filter settings. Okay, so the filter settings did not come over. So let's move the gyro filter multiplier all the way up to 2.0, and then we'll just push this D term up to 1.2. That's fairly safe. Max frequency on the dynamic notch needs to go up. Put it up at 900. These motors aren't that high of a KV. And we will leave it there. Receiver, I have to set it up for TAER. Whoever gets this is probably going to have to change it to AETR. When it does this, just disconnect. And reconnect. Oh, no shit. Brandon's Baked Bean says turn dynamic idle off on 1S rigs. Blue Jay doesn't do well with it, and it can damage the FETs. No shit. No sweat. All right. The board is confused. I'm going to unplug it and replug it. Come on. There we go. All right. Close it. Let's turn dynamic idle off. Zero it out. Turning it, setting a lot of this stuff, if you set it to 0, it turns it off. Receiver. There we go. Telemetry. TAER. 1000. Okay. That all looks good. Modes. Yep. These are my modes. Adjustments, we've got the OSD profile selection in here. Let's check OSD next. See if everything came over. Yeah, everything came over. Look at that. And it even turned the stuff off that... Huh, very cool. It turned the stuff off that needs to be off. That's weird. Usually it doesn't do that. Warnings. RSSI warning I like. Let's save that. All right, cool. Yeah, this is all looking really good. Video transmitter. I wonder if it brought over the smart audio. It did bring the correct VTX table. A bunch of these Happy Model boards were shipping with VTX tables that were incorrect. It brought over these settings here, which is really nice. And all right, motors tab, and let's give it some power, and we'll see what's what. See if these motors are spinning the right direction. Motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is wrong. Motor 3 is wrong. Motor 4 is wrong. They're all wrong. But let's run this thing props in. Because I've been wanting to play around with props in anyway, and these are all spinning in the props in direction, so let's go with it, and I'll fly it around and we'll see if it does anything. So the one of the reasons that we used to run props out on Tiny Whoops is that we had these brushed motors that had no braking, and they just sucked. They were just bad. They were bad motors. Why the hell was the motor pole set to 14? That's weird. Nowadays, these motors have plenty of power. And props in has the potential to do stuff like dive better. And so, yeah, let's move these propellers around and run this thing props in. I've been dying to do this on a rig, and this is the perfect opportunity. Brandon's Baked Bean says they say to use motor idle at 8 to 9% rather than dynamic idle. I've been able to run the motor idle down nice and low on these without any problems. So I'll leave it wherever it's at. Should be pretty low, like 5. That's where I really like it. 4.5 to 5. All right, Rear motors are set to props in. Let's swap the fronts. Prop popper. Right. Get in there. Get in there, Lewis. Come on. Oh, man. This propeller is really on here. What's happening there, little buddy? You cool? Get off of there. Jeez. Hey, there we go. Ah, Jesus. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is going to go on the right front. And then this other prop that was being a little bastard, I'm going to take the pin vise and just remove a little tiny bit of material. And now it'll be perfect. Props in, yo. Here we go. A props in adventure. I don't actually know if this thing's going to fly. I have to get it bound. God knows if that'll be a pain in the ass. There we go. Props in. Props in. Let's see if we can get it bound real quick. If I can get it bound, I can probably just fly it real fast. That would be fun. Here we go. Express ELRS. What do you guys run your telemetry rate at? Once, twice, 3 times. Binding. It claims to be bound already. It claims to have bound already, I should say. Unplug it. Plug it back in. Bound. Boy, is that nice. And the motor's arm. Plug it into Betaflight one more time. Okay. That was also one we'll get to see if I made the BT 2.0 lathe too short. Let me check on what the idle is. Motor idle, 5.5%. Yeah, that's where I like it. D-Shot 300. Props. Nope, nope, nope. I didn't save it when I switched it to props in. There we go. Save and reboot. Good to go. Looks like you guys are running race or standard. Why do I have the number set on mine? What am I, some kind of a chump using the number? Telemetry ratio. Standard. Race. I'm going to use race. It's still on 164. I think this will fly, yo. What a time to be alive. Here we go. This rig might be for sale on Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday will be a stream that we a live auction stream. No video. Well, it probably has no video because, yep, off until first arm. Will it hover? Uh-oh. No OSD. Have to figure that out. Hovers. I wish I could fly not tail in all the time. Why don't I have OSD? That's interesting. Let's figure that out super quick. Like, it could just be turned off in the configuration menu, but I mean that should come over from the diff that I did. That's kind of weird. Let's figure it out. Where are you at, OSD? First thing to check, configuration, and right here. And it is turned on, so that's good. Next thing to check over in the OSD menu is PAL versus NTSC versus HD. So that's the problem. It's set to HD for some reason. That'll do it every time. I'm just going to put it on auto because I'm lazy. It's probably NTSC, but auto works totally fine. So now we should be good to go. Man, what a smooth build this was. All right, should be good. We'll check the tune and get it ready for its new home. All right, arm it and we'll get power. Whoa! Hi, friend! What the hell just happened? Turning on the OSD made you a lunatic. Why? Why you do that? Oh, look, it says craft name up in the corner. That was super weird. Wow, look at the yaw response. There, it's doing the doing the failsafe thing. My transmitter is being a jerk. But now it's fine. So is the tune on the edge? No, it doesn't seem to be because it's still got a little tiny bit of prop wash. So I should be able to go a little bit farther on the tune. Let's try. Profile simplified. D gains up to 1.4. P and I up to 1.1. Let's try that out. Uh-oh. These happy model boards do that sometimes, man. You'll arm it, and one motor just won't come to life. Disarm and rearm. Oh! And you're good to go. Only crashed once. Let's get it upstairs real quick. We can do a proper big prop wash run. Yeah, it's still got prop wash. Let's push it harder. 1.6, 1.3. Okay. That's gone. Still a little bit of it there. Let's see how much more headroom we have. I don't love sending these out like really cranked up, but let's see. The BMI 270 is a gyro that is not super clean. So this might be over the edge. Nope, yep, that was over the edge. Okay. That's not going well. Be right back. I'm assuming the battery just came unplugged. Yep, battery came unplugged. I had the battery sitting back a little bit too far. And on that crash, the battery slid forward and it just unplugged itself. So, we good. Only crashed twice. That is an easy way to find the limit of the tune. And so, yeah, when you arm it and it flies away like that, you've found the limit of the tune. So now we need to back it down. And I'm going to back it down a bunch, actually. So we'll arm it to get the VTX going. Profile simplified. So this is too much. So we're going to go down to 1.6. That would be safe. I'm actually going to pull it down a little bit farther just to make it super safe. And then there's the ratio that I really like. Feed forward is nice and low, the way that I like it. D max at 1.2. I gains 1.0. Pitch and roll. Everything else looks good. So rigs with a BMI 270. This is about as good as you can get them in terms of prop wash. And I mean, this is me specifically putting it into prop wash, right? Like, if I just fly it, it's not going to prop wash. I mean, that's pretty much done, man. I mean, that that's the tuning that I do on mine. Like, there's really not a whole lot extra that you can do, or need to do, for that matter. The whip, the cool whip. It does Ciotti loops. It does mega power loops. Nope, it didn't get anywhere near enough height on that. This is on 32,500 kV 0702s. I gotta get that craft name out of there. That looks so silly. Flies just like all the other Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoops. Hey, only crashed 3 times. There it is. It was weird. The voltage dropped so low that it like zeroed the voltage out for a second there. That was weird. I don't really think I need to put another battery through it. No use abusing it anymore. It's I mean, the tune is there. If it goes to a different altitude, I mean, maybe the tune would need to change, but probably not. That's pretty much it, yo. Oh, James. I'm sorry, brother. James Thomas says, PSA, last week I said that the new Rotor Riot dime motors now have the connector plugs because that's what the website says. Well, I just opened a box. My dimes, they do not have connectors. Sorry, brother. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Kevin Summers says, time to retire that ELRS module. Why? This is the good one. This is the Minmo. This is the good one. I might actually retire the white BetaFPV one, because when the fan turns, I turn this thing up in output power a little bit, and that turned the fan on. The fan is rattling against something. So yeah. Why do you say that though, Kevin? Because of the little micro failsafes? Those are transmitter related, because they do it on both Crossfire and ELRS. I need to get off my ass and swap transmitters. Yeah, this is ready to go. We'll do a live auction for this, I think, on Whoop Wednesday of this week. There's just not a compelling reason to keep beating it up. Let me see what it weighs. I haven't weighed it yet. But first, let me just pick these strings off my Band-Aid. All right. This QX7 though, man, it's been such a workhorse. I've probably flown 10,000 batteries through this, and good God, I can't imagine how much simulator time I have on this. For sale, Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop is coming in at... What? Why are you so light, bro? 17.7 grams. I don't have any Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoops that are that light. What? 17.7. This one's 18.6. Jesus. How are you so light? Okay. Sure. Has motor plugs. 17.7 grams. Sure. Okay. This is the best Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop I've got, and I'm going to sell it. Great idea. Wow. Damn. Okay. Come to Whoop Wednesday this week if you're interested in participating in a live auction where you can buy this damn thing at a really light weight. Jesus. Huh. Okay. Why not? Let me just put a little love in this BT 2.0 lead to keep it from unplugging ever again. Damn. Comes with an extra motor. Extra 0702 32,500. You could technically choose your camera, but you want this camera. If you're going for style over function, I do have a Foxier Razor camera in a white McStinky mount to match the white frame. So if you wanted it to look cooler, you could swap this on. I do need to test this camera first, though. I wonder if all the Foxier cameras output 60 frames a second, like the Caddx Ant Lite. Never mind. This is a Foxier camera, not a Caddx camera. It's the Caddx Ant Lite that does 60 frames. So yeah, this probably doesn't. I'll still test it anyway. But yeah, if you wanted this camera, if you wanted it to look cooler, I could swap this on there. Yeah. Whoop Wednesday, yo. Buy yourself a little piece of history. Not because I'm special or anything, but because this is like gone forever. Like you can't get these AIOs anymore. And I don't know. There's a little bit of history in the Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. It's gotten somewhat well known in the circles that we hang out in. Don't expect anybody to know what it is. Not that popular. Clean little build though. Quick build too. This went together quick. No weirdness. Brand new AIO, brand new canopy, brand new camera. I did the mod to the antenna, new motors, props with 3 crashes on them, new frame, new 180 BT 2.0. They did, Jake. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad. But the Mobula 6 2024 AIO seems to be good. I sure hope that we can buy it at some point. Rockworth, the auction is Wednesday. Whoop Wednesday. It comes with a box. All that shit. Extra 0702 32,000 as well. Here we go. Is that 32,000? 32,500 actually. There it is. Huzzah! MFers. How you like me now? Let me do one more thing. I'll do one more thing. There's the box for it. Does not come with the original motors. You wouldn't want them anyway. Comes with stickers. Yay! Fart. If you want to run the Batwing mount in the future, you're gonna have to flip the thing around. That's a technical term for it. Wait, no, extra motor. Is that the right one? Nope, that's not the right one. This is the right one. Extra motor. There it is. Okay. And I have decided that I am going to build another one of those. But then that's it. I don't have any more of these Mobula 6 AIOs to build. All gone. Yeah, let me do one more thing. 36,000 kV rig is starting to develop jello. So let's take a look at which motor is banged up. So we're going to pull the propellers off. First thing to do is to swap the propellers. I already did that. Get in there! There we go. After you put fresh props on, if the problem continues on a tiny whoop, it's a motor problem. On other rigs, it could be a frame. It could be a frame problem on a tiny whoop. Probably not, because you can see when the frame breaks. But could be. Never know. Propellers are off. Plug it into BetaFlight. And always flash BetaFlight, James. Quicksilver is like kind of angle mode only in some weird way. BetaFlight is just the best. It's had so much work put into it over so many years. It's just killer. Okay, motors tab. I understand the risks, and we're just going to spin each motor up while we're holding the quad and feel for the vibrations. Motor number 1. Making some noise, but it's relatively smooth. Motor 2. Making some noise as well, but still pretty smooth. Motor 3. Motor 3 sounds horrible, but it's not vibrating that bad. I mean, none of them are fresh, but motor 4... Motor 4 is kind of the freshest. Huh, why does this thing have jello? All the motors are... none of the motors are super clean, but none of them are that bad. 84,000, 84,000, 83,000. No, I saw 84. 84,000. Cool. So all the motors are pretty well matched. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of equally beat up. You can really feel it down here at low RPM. Down at like 11% throttle. Huh. Interesting. I wouldn't think that these motors in their current state would... Oh, hey, that rig that I just flew was props in. It did everything totally normal. There was nothing weird about it. Yeah. I pushed it really hard into a... Oh, what I was saying before. I didn't finish my thought. We used to go from props in to props out on Tiny Whoops because when you would push it really hard into a turn where you would use yaw and roll, it would overload the outside motor because it's doing most of the work and it would fall out of the air. Now that we have motors that make good power, we don't need to do that anymore. And props in dives a little bit better. So when I was pushing that into those prop wash moves, if props in was a problem, it would have been falling out of the air. So, Curtis Hayes has a Tiny Whoop that sucks. It's 24 grams. There's the problem. Has a Cross AIO and a Zeus VTX. What's the best way to drop weight? Get rid of the VTX, but then you're going to have to get rid of the AIO as well. You got to just look at each individual part of it. Look at the frame that you're using. Look at what other frames are available. Look at the canopy you're using. Look at what each individual piece. You look at it and you say, is there a better, lighter option? The ultimate freestyle Tiny Whoop is like the jam. Cockroach 65 V3 frame, Mobula 6 canopy, Runcam Nano 3 camera, Happy Model AIO. 0702 motors. So this is, in my opinion, the formula that you're shooting for. Match it up as much as you can, and the weight will come down. The reason why it sucks is because it's so heavy. You got to be below 20 grams dry. I'm gonna leave these motors. I pulled an extra set of these 0702s, but yeah, no. This is I'll keep running these motors until they explode. So yeah, this thing is just gonna get abused a bunch more. If all, like, the jello is not so bad that it's like a deal breaker, but I thought like maybe if one motor was the reason, if like one motor's real banged up, I'll swap it out. But I'm not swapping all four out, and they're really not that bad. The other test you can do with the props off is to spin the motor up real slow. If this is the motor shaft, you take your fingernail and you put your fingernail next to the motor, and any vibrations you'll feel it in your fingernail. Just spin the motor slow, and then each motor just get your fingernail really close to it. But you can just hold the rig in your hand like what I was doing and spin them up, and it's, yeah, it gives you a really good idea of what's up. So yeah, I'll just keep pounding on this. Great little box, man. Yeah! Love this little box. Cool. That's going to do it, my friends. I'll see you on Wednesday. We will live auction that Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. Pretty sure I'm going to build another one. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah. Love you guys. Be good. Bye-bye. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Here's some thing. Here's the Cineglide railing around with a proper battery on it. Wait, no, here's something from Brasstown Bald. I was not flying good. The rig was also flying pretty poorly. But yeah, here you go. Whop! No, this is junk. I'm flying like a donkey. Here's the Cineglide with a proper battery on it. Change the plans. Cineglide with a proper battery. Love you guys. Bye! It's like a 6S 1500 mAh LiPo from GMB. See you guys Wednesday.